Wine on tap has been tried a number of times in the wine industry over the last 20, 30 years. And I think this time, for the first time, it's here to stay.
Well, I think when you think about wine and the way wine is delivered to people, it's been a long time since there's been an innovation in the way it's delivered through large channels in America. The bottle, the 750 milliliter bottle, is the main method of delivering wine. This is a larger package, and so it simplifies a lot of issues that have to do with opening packages and deploying the contents of the packages. So it's a very different technology from that point of view, and it has distinct advantages.
You know, one of the major things that stands out right away is the amount of packing material that we're not wasting anymore. We don't have the glass bottles, we don't have the cardboard boxes that have to be recycled. And even though we recycle as much as possible, that's as sustainable as you can get. Having kegs that can actually be refilled, the only thing that we're going through is the wine.
Some people think it's unique to see wine on tap because they associate it with beer. But the reality is, more and more across the United States, wine taps are popping up in restaurants and bars. It's becoming much more acceptable and much more common. It has the advantage of keeping the wine fresh. We don't have open bottles kept overnight. We don't have bottles without corks that can't be found, and so forth. It's a much cleaner, more efficient way to deliver products to people.
I think in many ways the craft beer movement that happened in the last 25 years in the U.S. has really trained the distributor, the retailer, the consumer about beverages on tap.
People that come in are really excited to see it. You know, seeing the wine on tap, certainly something new that's come for the visitor center, so they're really excited to see and ask questions about what it is. Being that the Acrobat series is on tap, they've got a lot more questions about that, so it's given us an opportunity to talk more about Acrobat.
Well, right now we started with the Acrobat wines nationally, the Acrobat Pinot Gris and Acrobat Pinot Noir. We thought that those wines worked particularly well for a restaurant by the glass. We're also adding our NX&W Chardonnay this summer, which is our Washington, our Horse Heaven Hills, Wallula Benches Chardonnay. And I think that may be the first Washington Chardonnay on tap. And then we're adding, in some parts of the country, we're doing our NX&W Riesling, which is also from the Horse Heaven Hills, Wallula Benches Vineyard, and also a red blend, which will just be a special wine for the next 4 or 5 months. Well, there's great benefits for the restaurateur. There's benefits in terms of freshness. The last glass is as good as the first, and there's great benefits in terms of shelf life.
One of the worst things, having spent 15 years in the restaurant industry, one of the things that I always see at bars is, you know, right at the end of the night, somebody orders one more glass of your most expensive glass pour. That bottle gets opened and then it sits overnight. Sure, there are processes to help seal those bottles, you know, with the rubber stoppers to remove all the air, as well as, you know, gases and other things. But if that's not done properly, then, you know, that bottle of wine essentially goes to waste while it sits overnight waiting for the restaurant to open the next day. We don't have that with the wine on tap. You're never going to waste a single glass of wine.
I think it's one of the most important things is to recognize that these kegs are returnable. Deposit is paid on them. They're returned to free flow where they're washed, sanitized, filled again, and reused. So it's a very nice closed loop system as far as the green characteristics.
King Estate is in a very competitive industry. In the wine industry, there's thousands and thousands of wineries. And it's really important, if a winery wants to be a leader and relevant to its distribution network, that it add value. And I think wine on tap is a great way to innovate and add value at the same time. It's very important for wineries like King Estate to constantly strive to innovate. That's where leadership comes from.